Hello and welcome to Philosophy Vibe, the channel where we discuss and debate different philosophical ideas. Today we're going to be discussing David Hume's work on skepticism. So then, how familiar are you with skepticism?
Well, broadly speaking, skepticism is a feeling of doubt towards knowledge. The idea that we cannot have any true or meaningful knowledge of the world or of reality as a whole. All the knowledge we think we have is actually uncertain, so we cannot truly know anything.
Yes, that's an accurate description. David Hume claimed it was universal doubt on all our former opinions, principles and faculties.
I see, but what reason is there to doubt our knowledge?
Well, David Hume's reasoning for skepticism, or Pyrrhonism as he described it, was largely down to the problem of induction.
What's that?
If we look at our knowledge, what we know and what we deem to be true is concluded through logical reasoning. You will see that logical reasoning is comprised of deductive reasoning and inductive reasoning. Deductive reasoning is where if the premises are true, you will reach an absolute certain conclusion. So if A equals B and B equals C, therefore A equals C. However, inductive reasoning is when if the premises are true, you will reach a probable conclusion, but it is not certain. A common example used is that all known living organisms need water to survive. Therefore, if we found a new living organism, it would need water to survive. Probable, but not certain.
Right, I think I understand. So, deductive truths are like geometry, algebra, or arithmetic. Truths we can reach by mere thought and reason. But inductive truths are reached through experience. We have to perceive how the world works and we reach our conclusions this way.
Correct. So this is the problem of induction. With inductive reasoning you can never reach certain knowledge, just probable conclusions based on previous experiences. Experience can only assure us of what we have actually observed in the past or present. We cannot reliably generalize beyond this. We cannot use what we have experienced in the past to know what we will experience in the future. Inductive reasoning is not certain knowledge, and so it will inevitably lead us to doubt whether the knowledge we think we have gained from inductive reasoning is true or not.
I think you need to explain this a bit more.
Okay, we will perceive the world and our surroundings, and we will notice the causal interactions. We will then gain knowledge of cause and effect and how things behave or how nature works. Our memories will store this, and we will believe that this interaction will continue this way, without our observation and beyond our existence.
Correct.
A common example would be, we have woken up every morning and seen the sun rise, so tomorrow the sun will rise.
Yes, I would agree.
But is that statement true? The argument is through inductive reasoning, so this is just a logical prediction based on experience. This is not a certain conclusion. We do not know that the sun will rise tomorrow, and just because we have previously experienced the sun rising every other day does not mean it will necessarily rise tomorrow. We can imagine, without contradiction, the contrary to this fact, and if we can imagine this, then it does not become an absolute truth or a certain matter of fact.
Okay.
So for Hume, the problem of induction meant that any knowledge gained from inductive reasoning cannot be true knowledge. So here is where skepticism is brought forth. Most of our knowledge is through inductive reasoning. Hume noticed how we base our knowledge on our experiences. We see certain patterns and adopt the cause and effect principle. Last month I poured water on a seed and a plant grew. So this month if I pour water on a seed, a plant will grow. Or a minute ago I threw a ball up and it came back down, so if I now throw a ball up it will come back down.
Yes, that is generally how we find out empirical facts.
Yes, we believe our observations of one state of affairs provides evidence for another state of affairs, but we have no certainty in adopting this line of thought.
I see.
So now we see the problem of cause and effect, as any knowledge we claim to have through experience of cause and effect is nothing but inductive predictions. Hume argued it is impossible to gain any knowledge through our experience of cause and effect. All the facts we have about the world, all cause and effect laws now get thrown into doubt. Think about it. The foundation of all our knowledge is through experience, the causal relationships we have perceived at this or that time. However, when we perceive a particular cause and effect, we have no basis to claim a necessary connection. If we can conceive of a different outcome without contradiction, we have no reason to dismiss this outcome over the one we have already perceived. Let's say, when I hit the white pool ball onto the black, it sends the black ball up the table. I've done this many times and perceived the same thing, so I think the force of the white ball creates motion in the black ball.
Right.
But there is no reason for me to claim a necessary connection, because it is perfectly conceivable that tomorrow I hit the white ball onto the black ball and the white ball bounces off, leaving the black ball still.
So where does this lead?
This leads to skepticism, universal doubt. We cannot gain any knowledge through our experiences. Our previous observations can only predict inductively. It is not necessary that causal relations of the future must resemble causal relations of the past. So we cannot truly know anything. We cannot have any certain facts.
Okay, I understand. Here are my objections. Firstly, if all knowledge can be doubted, then is it right to say we can doubt the fact that we can doubt all knowledge? Surely this is absurd.
Good point. Perhaps we can borrow a line off Socrates and say the only true knowledge is that we know nothing.
Okay, I agree, inductive reasoning does not lead to absolute certain facts, but it does not mean that the conclusions it reaches are not true. Just because I cannot deductively prove the sun will rise tomorrow does not mean an argument in favour of the sun rising tomorrow is false. So that means the sun rising tomorrow is a possibility. At the same time, we have experience of the sun rising, which makes it a likely truth.
Yes, but ultimately it's not an absolute truth, and it never will be.
Fine, but really, do any skeptics take their theory seriously? I mean, a skeptic would doubt that gravity will continue tomorrow. Are they really expecting to wake up tomorrow to the possibility of them floating around? How can one honestly live their lives in constant doubt? You would never be able to plan for anything. You would just think that life is in a constant state of chaos, and anything that could be conceived to happen can happen at any time.
Good point. Hume did address this. He argued that while the skeptic may flourish in schools and universities and in environments where we ponder our reality, once they step outside of this environment, their skeptic beliefs will vanish. Once they are back surrounded by physical objects and perceiving the supposed cause and effect laws, their skepticism will be left to one side. Hume agreed that the skeptic had nothing to gain from proving their theory true. It will not benefit society, all discourse and action would cease, and we would remain in a state of lethargy and indifference to our existence.
Exactly. So it's almost as though defeat in victory.
Yes, that's a good way to put it, but that's all the time we have for now. Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed the vibe. What does everyone else think? Are you all skeptics? Do you doubt your knowledge? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe and help grow this channel. See you all soon.